If you want to make bank working from home in your underwear, I'm going to tell you how to do it. Hey there, welcome back, or if you're new, welcome. Before I get into this, if you could please do me a favor and give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I'm insecure and that would make me feel better about myself. All right, working from home, owning your own business, kind of at the top of the list for a lot of people today, and where a lot of us turn to is social media for a good reason. So if you want to become a social media manager, here are the first few steps I suggest you follow. Step number 1, get clear about your niche. In the beginning, you are probably going to be so eager for work, which is great, that you'll be willing to take whatever job you can get your hands on. And I'm not saying don't do this in the beginning, but don't let it become a habit. Instead, what you want to be doing is focusing on a specific industry or even a smaller segment of an industry that you know really well and that you have a personal interest in. It makes the work a lot more fun, and it also helps you stand out from your competition, because when you go to these potential clients and you say, I'm a fitness social media manager, I'm a tech social media manager, you're telling them that you specialize in their industry and you know the culture, the language, the slang, the terminology. That's knowledge you have that your competitors probably don't. Of course, you want to be sure to pick something that there is a demand for. Number 2, get your feet wet in social media as a whole, but then begin to zero in on one particular aspect of it. Kind of like how I was explaining that you want to pick a niche to focus on, you're almost picking a social media niche to focus on. As you start to become more familiar with doing social media for work, for a paycheck, you're going to start finding things that you are a little more interested in than others. For instance, some social media people will decide to focus on paid advertising only. Some will focus on video content. To be clear, even as you start specializing, you might still be offering basic social media services to some of your clients, and that's okay. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but the good thing about picking something to also specialize in is it allows you to charge a lot more. And like picking a niche, being an expert of a certain aspect of social media helps you stand out from your competition and positions you as the authority in that one particular thing. The third step in building your own social media agency is setting your rates. Your rates are going to evolve and go up over time. That's natural. And you might even be kind of determining them on a client by client basis. That's something that I still do. So you don't need a specific number ready when you are talking to leads, but you need to have at least a very basic idea of approximately what your rates start at. Now, how do you come up with the actual number? My best advice to you is that you should be basing this off of 2 things: the time it's going to take you to do it and the value that you can bring. It is not about just getting as much money as you can out of the client. That's not how you build an agency. The reason that you don't want to charge based solely on time is because you could have 10 years of experience and then there could be another social media manager with 1 year of experience, and it takes you the same amount of time to complete the same task. Should you get paid the same? In my opinion, no, because you have 10 years of experience and they have 1. You have more knowledge, more expertise. The 4th thing you need to do if you want to become a social media manager is you need to learn how to read and understand analytics. I point this out specifically because it is something that I see social media people skipping. They don't think it's important. They don't want to be responsible for it. And my theory is that they don't want to be responsible for it because they know they can't drive results. Analytics are what determine whether or not you're getting your clients results. And a lot of the times I've seen freelancers wanting to not acknowledge the analytics because the analytics are revealing that they're not doing anything. But really, in growing my business, being able to send potential clients screenshots of the results that I've been able to produce for current clients has been such a game changer. I know that data and numbers feel intimidating at first, but it's just like everything else. You have to spend time with it and get comfortable with it. And as you learn how to understand it, it's not going to scare you so much anymore, and you might actually enjoy it. You can't know if any of your efforts are working if you're not tracking and measuring the results. And that's what analytics are for. Analytics are our friend. The fifth and final thing I suggest to become a successful social media manager with your own agency is learn very basic graphic design. I said basic. I'm not telling you to go out and buy Photoshop and become a Photoshop expert. If you want to be a graphic designer, go do that. But if you want to be the owner of a social media agency, then you just need a basic understanding of it. Photoshop is great. I use it on the daily. If you don't want to pay for it, if you don't want to learn it, use something like Canva. It's free. You want to learn this so that you can produce very simple branded graphics for your clients. I said I had 5 tips. I lied. I've got one more. Kind of on the same note as using Canva. Pick your library of tools and programs. In the beginning, when your workload is fairly light, you're going to think that you can get away with not having to use outside tools because it's still feasible to do everything manually. That is going to get out of hand very quickly. As you bring in new business, new clients, you're going to have ways to streamline and automate all of your processes, and you can't do that without outside tools. Graphics, we already talked about Canva. To manage your assignments, you need a project management tool. Even if it's just you and you haven't yet hired anyone, you still need a reliable way to organize all of your tasks. Something like Trello. They have a paid version. I'm still using free, and I've got a team and I haven't upgraded yet. I'm not telling you to go out and spend a ton of money. You don't need to. Even at the stage that I'm at, my business, I run it on a very tight budget. I pay for my social media management tool. I do have that. Well worth the expense. But you can do this on a very lean budget. I suggest you especially when you start out, be frugal, be tight with your money, because you don't want to go dropping cash you're not making yet. Everything is still an investment, meaning that when you spend money, that tool needs to help you make money. I know that my social media management tool saves me hours of work, and I can spend those hours doing other things that make me money. That's how I know it's a smart investment. All right, so that was it. 6, not 5, 6 tips to becoming a social media manager and starting to build your agency. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. I always respond. And if you have any requests for future videos, let me know. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And I will catch you in the next video. See ya!